Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 373 for the 3rd of March. And let's start off with there is nothing in the border region. The Ukrainian raid that happened yesterday or the day before yesterday, actually no more. It's no more. No, it's just like, yeah, no more. And there's also no more massive drone strikes on Crimea, and there's nothing happening over at the Kherson Front. Moving into the Zaporizhzhia region, we have fighting reported at Prevyne. So Prevyne is actually this town here, and interestingly, the Russian Defense Ministry reported that there is some active ground operations over at this region here. So this location, Prevyne, is actually part of the Vuhledar North in the Zaporizhzhia line, and Vuhledar is here, and this is a major hub where the Ukrainians make a very powerful defensive stand, and they continue to hold some kind of defensive position around here. So the Russians, unsure if they captured Novosibirsk, but with this attack, probably they do, moving in this direction. Probably given the lack of bigger push, maybe at Vuhledar and at Vuhledar, or maybe at Avdiivka. Maybe the lack of this kind of push suggests that it's going to be just a one-off. I don't think this is going to be a huge attack around this region here. Probably just a probing attack. Moving into the Donetsk Front. So the Donetsk is here, and in the Donetsk city, southwest of Donetsk city, we have fighting reported at Vuhledar, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. So the Russian Defense Ministry themselves reported yesterday that there is some active operation, and they are supported by Air Force and artillery. And not sure where they're fighting, probably around this Dacha region east of Vuhledar. Probably a continuation of what they did previously. And during this battle, I think the Ukrainians did send some Air Force. There is a Sukhoi 24 shot down over Pokrovsk, apparently shot down by the Russian Air Force. However, the seemingly, maybe, the Russian aircraft that shot down this Sukhoi 24 also got shot down. There is a Russian Sukhoi 34. So that one is a 24, this is a 34. It's shot down over this city of Yena Ishcheve, or Yena Ishcheve, I probably pronounce it that. And according to the pro-Russian source, they said that these aircraft landed in the fields. So there is not sure where the field is actually. It looks very foresty, or maybe around here. So they landed. Both pilots ejected successfully, and so they brought the plane into the field to prevent casualties or crashing into city buildings. So they are not sure why the plane fell. They say it could be technical malfunction, it could be friendly fire. However, the Ukrainian Air Force, so this is a Ukrainian Air Force Telegram channel, they reported that at 1:30 p.m. they actually shot down this Sukhoi 34 in the area of Yevo, which is this place, by anti-aircraft missile regiment, which makes it seems like they are actually here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. And the fact that the Ukrainians can't possibly be here, what is likely to have happened, I believe, is that the Russian aircraft flew in, or maybe flew near to the front line. They fired the missile, and it turns. But as it turns, it got hit by the maybe a surface-to-air missile, maybe a manpad, maybe something small. And however, this caused the plane to be compromised, but it's not totally exploded and just drop off from the sky. It continued to fly. However, because it's so compromised, they cannot really fly back home, so they crash in the field, avoiding the city. I believe this is likely what had happened, and because it managed to fly so far from the front line, that's why the pro-Russian sources are unsure why it crashed so far away from the front line. This distance is probably around 10 to 15 kilometers, because this format, this mapping, I cannot do measurement, so unfortunately, but this allows us to see terrains though. And anyway, moving on, there is fighting reported at Vuhledar as well as at Marinka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. No details there. And moving on to the Avdiivka Front. At the Avdiivka Front, we have fighting reported at Nevelske, at Pervomaiske. Pervomaiske by Deep State UA, Nevelske is by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. There is a geolocation of Russian forces at this position, according to Deep State UA. And this actually pushed the Ukrainian front line backwards. I think even in the Deep State UA's mapping previously wasn't. I think this area they actually mapped it as part of Ukrainian. So this actually corroborated our understanding of the Russian front line. So so far our mapping is until this far away. So we are still some distance away, and let's see where exactly the front line is. But this helps to confirm that the Russian forces have indeed captured the entire this Stavok-Kersha region of Vodian, and it remains to be seen if they have this part as well. Fighting is reported at Vodian according to the Russian Defense Ministry, as they report that they are fighting in this region here, and the Ukrainian Defense Ministry reported fighting at Zivane as a continuation of what they have reported yesterday. And there's also fighting reported southwest of Avdiivka city from Opitne, according to Myro Sheshnikov, and which is a pro-Ukrainian source. And the Ukrainian Defense Ministry themselves also reported fighting at Avdiivka. And unsure if these two is the same. And north of Avdiivka, we have fighting reported at Kayamka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, as well as Krasnohorivka and Novokalinove. So the fighting at Avdiivka, the Avdiivka offensive continues in all directions by the Russian forces. These forces are Russian military. They are not the Wagner forces. So yeah, this is still happening. So moving on from the Avdiivka front, there's nothing at New York front, and moving on to the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut front, at the Ivaniske region, we continue to see fighting reported near Ivaniske as well as on the western part of Ivaniske. So the Russian forces continue to be fighting within this region here. However, they have not managed to break through the road, because the Ukrainian forces are making a good stand around here, holding up the road because they need the road in this region here. So moving on into the Bakhmut city itself. At the Bakhmut city, we have fighting reported in the southeast of Bakhmut, according to Raiba, and southern part of Bakhmut. Both is reported by both Deep State UA and Raiba, both the pro-Ukrainian and pro-Russian source reporting fighting at the south. On the southeastern part of Bakhmut, Raiba reported that the street of Boris Grichenko, on my map is called Borisa Hrinchenka Street. This street here is secured by the Russian forces, and on the eastern part, there is still fighting according to the Deep State UA. However, on the eastern part, we have news that the Ukrainian forces have withdrawn from, at least a majority of the forces have withdrawn from East Bakhmut, which is the entire, this region here. As you can see, there's a river. So the entire eastern part of this area here is the East Bakhmut, and they reportedly have withdrawn from this region. And after they withdraw, they actually blow up this railway bridge across the Bakhmutovka River. And in the northeast, the Russian forces continue to push after clearing up the area of the meat processing plant, which is actually here. So a lot of things happening, and there seems to be still Ukrainian forces around this region. So if we read the report. Deep State UA reported they're still fighting on the eastern part, but Surya Maps reported that the Ukrainian forces have withdrawn. According, Ryba also reported the same fact. So there must be some Ukrainian forces that was left behind to hold the line, while the majority of the forces pushed over into the central part of Bakhmut to hold this second line of defense in the Bakhmut city itself. And then, so very heroic of these people to continue to hold that position, or very poor thing, they got left behind, depend on which story you would like to hear. And in the northern part of Bakhmut, there is fighting reported in this region. Both Deep State UA and Ryba reported fighting in the north, and so far the Russian forces is entrenched around this line, and they are pushing in this direction, with the Ukrainians still currently holding a position in this area in the north part of Bakhmut. The North Ferrous plant continues to be under Ukrainian control, and they continue to be entrenched in this position. I'm sure if they will fight to the end at this plant, we shall see soon. And there is reinforcement reported for the Ukrainian forces. According to the pro-Russian source, Ryba, they reported that the Special Operation Forces has been sent to Bakhmut to contain the Russian push. And over at the northwestern part of Bakhmut city, the Russian forces continue to attack towards Khromove. The Ukrainian forces seemingly is able to hold. However, there is rumors that they have withdrawn into Bakhmut or towards Chasivya, but I don't think it's the one towards Chasivya, probably into Bakhmut. Because according to Ryba, the Russian source, they said that the Ukrainian forces withdrew their unit and blew up the bridge over at the outskirts of Khromove, which is actually here. So because there's a river here, they link up these two reservoirs. As I can show you, you can see. So there's a river linking these two reservoirs, and there's a bridge here that is actually being blown up by the Ukrainian forces. So it's a bit unclear what is the situation of Khromove will be like. In terms of, however, what you do need to know is that the north of Khromove, where the Russian forces is currently holding the line here, is actually a high ground. The Khromove itself is in the lower ground, and so any Russian forces in this position have a good view of the entire valley, or the lower ground of Khromove, even into Bakhmut itself, which allow them to have fire control over the entire region here, which makes Khromove extremely untenable for the Ukrainian forces. So withdrawing from this region or this position makes a lot of sense. But if they lose Khromove, then I'm not sure if they can hold this position of this highway or this road between Khromove all the way to Chasivya, which is actually this direction. So I'm not sure if it's tenable for the Ukrainians to hold this road anymore without Khromove. So moving on into some information about Chasivya, we have the pro-Russian source reporting that the English-speaking mercenaries have been entirely withdrawn from Bakhmut. So this withdrawal must be a few days ago, because I think it's a bit hard to withdraw from this region here. So they have to go through wrong color. They have to go through this road, and this road, if you can zoom in, is a dirt road. So dirt road means that the wheeled vehicles is going to have a lot of problems traveling through this road to safety. And the best road, as usual, as I mentioned before, is going to be these major roads. So like the Khromove road is actually a decent road. I think this is a proper road. As you can see, there's a line in between. So I think this is a proper road at Khromove. The other proper road is this highway. And you can see this is a really proper road with tarmac. So the best retreat route is still going through the major roads, because then your wheeled vehicles can withdraw and move quickly to safety. And however, the Russians are really close at this area here. they might have some fire control. They might have some fire control over this position. So it's important for the Ukrainians to actually push back the Russians at this position, at least form the line around here, so that they can actually freely use this road to redraw. This road is horrible. I think there is some footages coming out from Ukraine around Bakhmut region. Unsure where is the road, but they are moving in the dirt road, and the car just got stuck in the mud. So, and it requires track vehicles to be able to move through this kind of muddy ground. And on top of that, the truck vehicles actually will stir up the mud even more, making real vehicles even harder to travel through the mud. So the Ukrainians really have to make very good decisions in terms of how they are going to sustain the defense at Bakhmut. Because with this reinforcement, it does show signs that they might still want to continue to hold Bakhmut. But of course, this reinforcement could also be covering force to help to establish a orderly progress backwards. So in the northwestern part of Bakhmut city, we have fighting reported at Avdiivka, as well near Dubovo-Vasilivka and towards Orikovo-Vasilivka. Information coming from Deep State UA, Ukrainian, and the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, or Ukrainian sources. So the Russians continue to push in this direction, and so far no breakthrough. There is not much information about this area here. No one cares about them. Everybody just cares about Bakhmut now. In the north, we have fighting reported at Vasilivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and now we are into the Siversk Front. So Siversk city is this city, and this is the Siversk Front. There's fighting reported at Vasily, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, Sperne, and Bilohorivka, all reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. As you can see, the pro-Russian side can't be bothered with any other places. They just want to talk about Bakhmut. And just like you guys, right? I know you guys also only want to know about Bakhmut. And in the Kreminna region, the Russian forces continue their Kreminna offensive, with fighting reported within the Serebryansky forestry, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. There is bombardment on Toske, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. The same bombardment is also reported on Yampolivka. And there in the northern part, we have fighting reported at Yampolivka, according to Wogonzo. The same report also mentioned Terny. The Ukrainian forces, however, did a counteroffensive towards Chervonopopivka, according to Wogonzo. However, the Russian Defense Ministry simply mentioned that it was they did shelling around this area. So the shelling could be relating to the Ukrainian offensive. So maybe the Ukrainians are actually attacking, and then the Russians actually shelled it to oblivion, while the Russians are actually also attacking Terny and Yampolivka while bombarding it. Fighting is also reported in the eastern part of Nevsky, according to Ryba, in around this valley region. You can see, so you can see this deep in the river, this some kind of valley region. Yeah, the fighting is around this area here, east of Nevsky. And at Makievka, there is fighting reported towards Makievka, according to Wogonzo. So that's all from the Kreminna Front. Moving on, we have nothing much on Svatove except that there is a Russian attack against Novoselivsky. This small little town or village continued to be the center of fighting in this region here. So far, no breakthrough as far as I can understand. And over at the Kupyansk Front getting a bit hot. The Russian forces reportedly is attacking near Peshatshavneve, and interestingly, they actually dropped the name of Kurilivka. So Kurilivka is actually a bit far. It's actually here, and the front line we have previously was around here. So to say fighting around at Kurilivka, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, might suggest that the Russians have actually made progress. Maybe the front line have changed. Maybe the front line is now like this. We have no idea. So they are pushing towards Kurilivka. However, there is also fighting reported in the region of Peshatshavneve. So and it's probably not this area, because this area they will call it Timkovka. They will call this place Timkovka. So It's a bit unclear. I'm not sure where the front line actually is at this moment. This is we will continue to monitor and see if anyone will be willing to, you know, be kind enough to tell us more. The Ukrainians, however, also did their own offensive in the area of Vishana and Liman Pershi, according to the pro-Russian source Ryba. So they are attacking in this region, in the area of Sinkivka. Probably is a full frontal assault along the Russian lines holding up in this position. And however, the Russians reportedly is attacking Masivivka, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. So as you can see, the situation is pretty in flux along in the Kupyansk Front. So the Russians are attacking this area here, this area here, this area here, and the Ukrainians are attacking this here and this here. So the front line is probably, you know, maybe in this kind of weird pattern. Oops, wrong color. Yeah, maybe in this kind of situation. So we shall see. And that's all from the Kupyansk Front, and that's all for the summary of the day of 373 for the 3rd of March. And for those that are new to this channel, do subscribe, and everyone press the like button now. Yes, I need you to press the like button, because if not, the SBU is going to kill you. The YouTube shadow banning unit is going to kill you. Kill him, click the like button. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next update.